Welcome back guys on my YouTube channel. Today I'm in company of the 2026 Husqvarna 701. We did a nice sweet adventure rally build and now I'll take you through all the parts we installed on this 701. To start with, I'll show you a brand new product by Outback Motortech. These are the crash bars. I wanted them in white so that it could go nicely with the white plastics of the bike. For the same concept, I asked Outback Motortech to provide me a white bash plate. This is a brand new bash plate because it's for the 2026 model, which has a bit of changes. So just as you know, bash plates for the pre-26 model don't fit the 26 model. As you all know, having the crash bars and the bash plate by Outback Motortech ensures that my bike can fall on the ground and I won't have to worry too much about damages because these are really robust. Same with the bash plate, is a nice thickness and it covers all the critical points around the engine. I'm really curious to know what you think about a white bash plate because I did it already on a Tenere build I did some time ago. People seem to like it, so I'm curious. Let me know your opinion. Also because I believe you'll see less marks than a black bash plate. Moving up on the bike, we have the factory rally replica windshield. This ensures that we have a much better aerodynamics of the bike, a better airflow, especially when we are on the liaisons, like on asphalt going at high speed, but also when we are on fast gravel roads. To match the performance of the windshield, we have also a full carbon tower. This is the lightest tower on the whole market. It's less than 700 grams, produced in full carbon, which means you have a higher resistance than other materials. The full carbon tower ensures really loads of features and will turn you almost into a Dakar rally rider. A bit behind you see the factory rally handguards. Also, these are used by most factory teams at the Dakar Rally. The full white edition is an exclusive of Rebel X, so you can find the full white only at Rebel X. The nice thing of these handguards is that they provide a good protection to your hand, also especially in winter when you have a lot of cold, at least you have a wind protection, or if you're behind another rider. Being in full plastic, these have a flexibility that in case of crash, they won't damage your handlebars, because the other handguards with a full wraparound aluminum bar, in case of crash, they act as a lever and it makes it much easier to bend your handlebar. Furthermore, personally, they scare me quite a bit because in case your hand gets catched underneath, you could sustain really bad injuries. With the plastic, it's rigid, but in case of crash, it has enough flex not to damage your hand. The Rebel X Carbon Factory Rally Tower has in its features also the possibility of mounting the OEM turn indicators of the 701. Remember, this kit also fits the KTM 690 and also it fits the KTM EXC line, the Husqvarna FE, and also the Gas and also the motocross version. So this is really a versatile tower that once you make the investment, you know that when you will change bike, you can still translate and bring the tower to another bike by just getting the frame clamp. Behind the windshield for this build, we put the Baja Design S1 lights, a high beam, a low beam, and we have a position light. These provide really a powerful output compared to the street legal, because as you know, to be compliant with the European rules, the street legal lights are not really very powerful. So my advice, if you order this kit, is generally go with the Baja Design if you want the maximum light output. The windshield then is also mounted with a quick release system, so no need of tools to remove an axis behind the tower. It's time for the Selle dalla Valle moment. We installed the full factory Selle dalla Valle seat cover that features the quick dry leather with the memory foam behind here where you have the camel humps. It provides for long liaisons a more comfortable sit. but also in case of mud, you have a bit more traction so that you don't slide out of the seat. On the sides, we have the carbon. For your info, the seat is slightly different from the 2025 model, but the seat cover fits both versions. So you know that from 2016 to 2026, even 2027, the seat cover is always the same. In case you're thinking of upgrading your 2024 or 2018 model to the new 2026, you can remove your Selle dalla Valle seat cover and bring it on the new bike. And finally, on the channel, you see the video on how to install these covers, because I got loads of requests in the past. So now we made the video tutorial, which I hope will help you out. Another accessory I'm excited about is the wheels. We went with the Han rally wheels. These wheels have reinforced spokes. They are bigger than OEM. They have CNC machined hubs where you can also choose the color of the anodization. Same, even the rim, you can choose the color. We went with the black rim. And for the spokes and nipples, we went full black. These wheels are the same I always used at the Dakar Rally. The reason for this is because at Dakar, I don't want to have to worry about tightening spokes. So I know that with a brand new set of wheel, I can do the whole Dakar without the need of checking my spokes. This said, clearly, you're gonna use the wheels for more than just a Dakar, which means it's a good habit to always change the spokes. But Han Wheels also has a torque wrench for the spokes already set for their wheels. I think this is phenomenal. I have it in my workshop because I don't have to worry of over tightening it or letting it too loose. I just get the hand torque wrench, wait for that click, and I know they're tight enough. On these hand wheels, I decided to put some of the tires I use for Dakar, which are very good for long traveling, because you know, Dakar is thousands of kilometers and many times we do 2-3 days on the same tire. So I know that for the general use and to go to any adventure riding event, these tires perform well. On the front, we have the Michelin Desert, and on the rear, we have the Michelin Baja. We could have put the Michelin Desert also on the rear. We decided not to go with the Desert tire on the rear because we wanted a bit more grip, because in Europe, you know, you can find anything, and actually it's also raining a lot in these days, so you could encounter mud. With the Baja tire, you have a better performance regarding the grip to the Desert tire. Clearly, it will wear out a bit quicker, but when you're off-road, you know, you don't have to worry even if there's mud of your bike sliding everywhere. On the front, the Michelin Desert is no longer in production. So we put this tire because I still have some Michelin Deserts. This is a tire that lasts really a long time. So for me, for most use of this bike is ideal for adventure riding events. Unfortunately, Michelin decided not to produce it anymore. And now at the Dakar Rally, everyone is using the Enduro tire on the front because Dakar has become much more technical and slower compared to many years ago when we were in South America. Moving now onto the seat. On the rider's view, I'll explain what's going on here. We have on the handlebar the Garmin Montana 750i. This is mounted on the Rebel X upper adventure riser, which lets you mount directly the Garmin or any RAM mount or any quad lock without the need of putting clamps around your handlebar and putting it into a secure, safe position right in the center of your handlebar. Moving on to the tower, we have the OEM dashboard, which now is in a much more visible position. So when you want to swap, change modes, you want to activate the traction or deactivate it, you have it in a nice view. And the view is on the same plane as the brand new Carpe Iter Carretta. I believe Carpe Iter has done a huge step forward with this device, starting from the mount, the plastic mount that it's already mounted on anti-vibration rubbers, how it is designed and how easy it is to take off and on the device, just pressing one button. But the most intelligent aspect of this device is these pogo pins. The reason for this is usually pogo pins are on the bottom, which means that with all the vibration that usually are up and down, those pins tend to wear out. With this system, with the rear dual pins, there isn't anything moving in this way, also because the mount is on anti-vibration rubbers, so you don't have to worry about the pins wearing out like on other devices. I prefer this system because many other devices now have a screw-on M8 circular connector, which is super safe, but is a pain in the ass when you reach any gas station. You want to remove your device and bring it with you, even though, like most devices, you have the key so you can lock it in. But you know, if you reach a hotel, you're leaving your bike outside for night, you want to take the device in your room and maybe watch some Netflix or do a few swipes on Tinder. The Carpe Iter Carretta also has some features that no other devices have. On the handlebar, we put the terrain command. With this switch, we can command the device, but also if we want to command the trip masters, we can also connect the trip master, which is super interesting because if you are taking part in any rally, you want your road book here, but you also want to command your trip masters. Last but not least, I really like the form factor, the dimension. I think it integrates really well when we match it with the upper trip masters. For this build, we decided to go with two ICO Max Gs, so both ICO go with the GPS antenna, since this bike is intended for adventure riding and not really tight forest trails. Behind all these devices, we have a bracket that lets you tilt the angle of the tablet, and you can also bring it slightly closer to the rider if you want. This bracket lets you place any tablet device or any GPS device, which means that with the Carbon Factory Rally Tower, you have really the maximum versatility and the best performance on the market. Other very useful feature is the Erie track bracket that is behind. The Erie track bracket usually in Dakar is used for the Erie track, but for adventure riding it comes in really handy because you can put a tool bag or a medical kit or an extra tube, so you have some space on this tower to store your tools or anything you want to bring with you, even your rain jacket. We're at the end of this build. You're asking yourself, why didn't I make the full graphics kit? Reasons are two. One, I still don't have the templates for the new 701, but we are completing them in these weeks, so then we'll be able to make a full graphic kit. The other reason is most people buy the bike and keep it standard, just with the standard graphics, and we wanted to show how all these accessories look with the standard bike. We also opted for gold hubs because usually on the Husqvarna you see them in blue. Instead, with the gold hub, I think it gives it a nice premium touch, but also this lets me use these wheels also on other bikes. That's why I usually put gold hubs, because then if I change bike, I can transfer it to other bikes and it will still look good, but also they really pop in the photos and in the videos. Due to my injury, this was supposed to be one of my demo bikes to use and ride at adventure riding events. I won't be able to ride proper off-road for at least another year, which brings me to the fact that I will sell this bike. If you're interested, leave a comment down below, contact me on Instagram in DMs. Don't expect this bike to be super cheap, because it has a lot of factory racing features. Don't try to lowball me, because this bike is brand new. It still hasn't been turned on. This bike is just for those that, instead of going to the dealer, then buying all the parts, having someone install them, want a full ready to ride bike. Now, let me know down in the comments what you think about this build, if you like it. I personally didn't like at the beginning the looks of the new 2026 701, but now I'm getting used to it, and I think with the full fairing and carbon tower, it really resembles a Dakar rally bike, and I'm liking the minimalist, the clean, I think elegant look of the Husqvarna. Be sure to follow me on Instagram for live content, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!